Hello, Ron Buster here again for the Computer Self-Employment School. You know, we've done a lot of talking in the last few videos. We've been talking about SEO, web development, backlinking, agency, videos. But you know, one of the questions that we get from students that are calling in wanting to know a little more about our school, they want to know, okay, I have these skills, but how am I going to market myself? You know, we feel that if you're going to attend the school and learn how to be self-employed, isn't it important that we also show you where you can go and market your skills? The better the skills, the more money you can make. Now, I'm going to show you in this video exactly how we have done it in the past. I told you I'm an agency. I said that in my last video. I have hired many people through this process. And I've hired Indians and Filipinos and whatever, people in America. I look for the most qualified person at a price that fits my budget. And every single person like myself that is hiring, they do the same thing. So I'm going to show you. Here's what I want to show you at this time. All right, we're at a place called UpWork. You can do a Google search right there for UpWork.com. You don't have to do a Google search. Just do a search. Just type it in. There you go. Type it in. www.upwork.com. Now, what you're going to find is, look at here. Find freelancers. You don't even have to log in, I don't think, in order to check them. But we're going to continue here. You can browse a little bit about what, Uplink does. Web developers, mobile developers. Do you know what that is? A mobile developer is somebody that does mobile websites. They're not hard to do. In fact, they're quite simple to do. And when you learn how to do them, you have the ability to do them when you're hired. Designers and creative. This is logos and graphics and things like that. Writers. Virtual assistant. I hired several virtual assistants over the years. In fact, I have a virtual assistant that's been working with me nonstop for 5 years. 5 solid years he's been on my payroll. All right. I have another virtual assistant that's been on my payroll for over 2 years, probably close to 3 now. So I do hire and I do keep people that are an asset to my company. And many employers on Upwork do the same thing. But you want to make sure that you work in Upwork with these businesses, because I have had people come to work with me long term that have been scammed or cheated out of money that they earned. So once you're in our school, we're going to teach you a lot about how to work with employers so that that doesn't happen to you. There's just so many different ways for you to get involved in how to do, freelancing. So if you're the freelancer, see if they're going to show us.
Okay, work is piling up. Fast. Like really, really fast. Fortunately, there's a place that makes it easy to connect with top freelancers ready to lend a hand. Upwork is where you'll find skilled contractors delivering great work and top value. They range from web and mobile developers to graphic designers.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Support reps and more.
All right. So what I wanted to show you there was we talked in a video about being able to make $5 an hour. That's realistic money. I'm going to show you here in a second. That's realistic money. But you saw the video. $20, $30, $40, $50, $60 an hour. But do you think that you're going to go to school for 6 months and demand $60 an hour? Probably not realistic. But why can't you get $5 to $10 an hour to start with? Get your skill set. And I'm going to show you, these people have thousands of hours in Upwork where they have earned the right to charge those kinds of dollars. And employers are hiring these people. Why? Because they're good. Now, an employer that starts out like myself, when I started 5 years ago, I didn't start paying my employee $5 an hour. I hired him for $2 an hour with a guaranteed amount of money per month. He took it. Today, he works 40 hours a week for me, and I pay him monthly. And I've been doing this for 5 years. So, now let's go back here and take a look at this one. Now, here, let me show you. This is become a freelancer, log in, sign up. You can sign up, you can become a freelancer. That's where you'll want to go. But me, I'm already signed up to hire freelancers, so I would go here. Now, what I want to show you is, look at here. This gal right here is from India. I exhibit qualities that help me work efficiently, sound ability to work with, and then we could go to her page and see what. But she's charging $11 an hour. I'll show you some more here, and then we'll come back and we'll check some of these. Here's another one in India. Web application development, internet marketing services for early adopters, startups, and SMEs, social medias. Okay, this guy here, he's an agency member. I have an agency. My people work for me. He makes $13.33 an hour. He's made over $6,000, and he's from India. Here's another one, $5 an hour. Now, remember what I told you. Starting out, when you're first beginning, you're not going to get even $13 an hour. You have to build up. So he's earned $800 in UpWork. Now, how long would it take you to earn $800 in UpWork? Okay, you can do the math. Oh, darn it. I fudged and showed you, didn't I? You're able to get, he worked for 266 hours, so you can multiply that out and see if he ever worked for less than $5. All right, here's another one from India. WordPress Content Specialist. He's making $12. Oh, look at here, $25 an hour. He's an expert in coding. He's a developer, making $25 an hour. He's earned over $7,000. But look at that. He's only had to work 222 hours to get there. $6, $8, $7, $31. He's worked for 245 hours work, no fixed price jobs, 2 hourly jobs. If he's worked that much, he's not earning $31.25 an hour in my book, but he also is from India. Here's one from the Philippines. Let's take another look at, just go to the next page and we'll see what we find here. $20 an hour from Bangladesh, $10 an hour from India, $16 an hour from India. You get the picture that there's a lot of people from India that are in UpWork that are working from home. They're self-employed. How do you think they became self-employed? They either went to school or they taught themselves. But you can't become a web developer if you don't have somebody help you, show you how. So that's what we're doing here at the Computer Self-Employed School. We're teaching you how to be able to go out and get these jobs. Let's take a look at this guy here. He's from India. So let's just go see what it says about him. Let's just pull up his profile. Database architecture modeling, development using technologies like Cake PHP. You know, this guy is a high-end developer, and he's charging $10 an hour. Now, if I was looking for someone that had these experiences right here, I'm telling you, this is a guy I would be in contact with. I would be contacting him wanting to see some of his work, because at $10 an hour, I can guarantee you that he's probably very hireable for most companies that are looking for a programmer. All right, let's go check out another one. Here's one. Poland. You know where Poland is? $44 an hour. I will help you with your PHP. Again, this is more programming. This is code. So, you know, when these guys talk about working 921 hours worked, one job, he's had one employer. So his employer has paid him a total of $30,000 US. 921 hours. That's about 6 months worth of work. That would equate out to about 60 grand a year for this guy. Well, let's go back and find somebody. I just want to show you one maybe that is doing a little more of what you would be doing. Is that okay? Let's go back here, JavaScript, finance, WordPress content specialist. Let's see what he does. He's making $12 an hour. Let's go see, including coding through sports writing. You know, see, coding is not that difficult once you learn how to do some of that. And so he's posting text, 300 hours worth of work. I don't know. That's not real complicated. WordPress, we're going to teach you WordPress, how to install WordPress, how to find WordPress themes. Content writing, most of you for English aren't probably going to have the skill set to write good quality English, native English we call it. So, you know, we teach you, if you're going to do a WordPress site, we teach you where to go and hire someone that can do those articles for you. Microsoft Office, well, you know, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and then, you know, his English is West Germanic, what did it say, Germanic language that was first spoken. Okay, that's a different than native English. Native English is what we speak here in America. There are many versions. There's a UK version, there's the German version, there's all kinds of versions, but most of the American businesses are going to want native spoken. So that's why when you do your content writing, we'll show you how to get that done. Very inexpensive on a project where you are collecting $4,000. Okay. Let's go back and maybe show you one more. But you get the idea that, you know, here, I can post a job and then I can invite who I want, or I can open it up for everybody to apply. I can go in and say, okay, you know what? Let's go take a look. Find a freelancer, messages, reports, jobs, my jobs, all post a job. Okay, so I'm going to post a job. Less than 30 hours a week, 30 hours plus a week, 3+ months, weekly commitment and availability needed. Flexible commitment. Okay, I'm going to say I want to hire somebody for less than 3 months. Let's see if I got any previous jobs posted here. Keyword research. Let's just do that one. All right. And choose a category. Admin, support, virtual assistant. Let's just go with customer service. That's okay. I guess it dropped out. Where'd it go? Here. Let's go down now and see. This will be a one-time project. How many freelancers do you need to hire for this job? I want to hire one freelancer, or I need to hire more than one. Now, there's been occasions where I've hired 3 just so that when I hired them, I gave them a test when I hired them, and I paid them for the test to see the quality of their work. This could happen to you. So you need to be heads up that you might get hired to do a test and then released because the quality of your work didn't match up to what the company that's hiring you wanted. So you've always got competition in UpWork, but it's a great resource for finding work. Believe me, if you stick with it and you post, if you go into the postings every day and look and answer these ads that are asking for freelancers, if your pricing starts out at a price where, it's realistic, and believe me, with your skill set, if you went out at $2 to $3 an hour to start with, that's not unrealistic. Work it so that you start building up the hours. I mean, I can go back and show you these people were not making $30 an hour for all those hours they said. Some of them were making a whole lot less to begin with. And that's the important part about what we're teaching, is take your skill set, get the hours in UpWork and FreeLancer and places like that where you can get out there and get work, make some money, and you can do this while you're in school. There's absolutely no reason you can't do some of this while you're in school. And once we teach you how to do these things, you can start applying for these jobs. And it doesn't hurt to apply for multiple jobs, because you're not going to get hired for every one of them. No matter what your price is, you can go for $1 an hour. And believe me, I have hired people for $1 an hour. Why? Because they needed time in a company to build up their resume. I talked to them. I agreed to pay them $1 an hour for the first month, and after that I upped it to $4 an hour, and then I jumped it up beyond that. But I wanted to help that new freelancer because I could see they hadn't worked in UpWork before. They had a good skill set. They showed me their work, and I hired them for $1 an hour. Well, that's awesome for me, but it was also good for them. So don't be afraid to go out at a price that gets you work. Okay? Now, I'm looking for somebody that will do SEO keyword research. We're going to teach you how to do that. So you could apply for this job. All right, pay by the hour or fixed price. Normally what I would do, now a lot of them will do by the hour, but what I would do is I would say, okay, I will hire you to do a keyword research and I'm going to pay $15. Now, if it takes you 1 hour to do the keyword research that I need, that's $15 an hour starting out. But if I were to come back and say, I will pay you $5 an hour for 1 hour work, which would you prefer? So you have to look at the price per hour and the fixed price jobs. And what you're trying to do here is determine how long it would take you to do that fixed price job, guaranteed that you're going to make that much money when you're done. Because you see, when you say, yes, I'm doing the work, UpWork is going to collect the money from the employer, the company, and they're going to put it in what we call escrow. And when you complete the work and it's accepted, they're going to pay you. Now, how's that work? You can get paid partials, depends on how you and the company set it up, or you can get paid lump sum. You can get paid hourly. And they do screenshots on the hourly, and UpWork reports back to your employer the amount of hours that you worked. It's all, I mean, it's really a good place to get work. I can't emphasize that enough. I've hired many people off of this, and so this is my primary go-to find people for work. And I'm showing you right here that this is how it works. And just by going in here and see here, if I want to post UpWork.com, public search engines can find this job. I can post it and people searching in Google can find it. I don't want that. I only want to work with people that are coming to me from UpWork, because I can check all of their information at that point. So there's all kinds of stuff here that I can put in. Hours billed on UpWork. You know, any amount, or at least an hour, at least 100 hours, 500, 1,000 hours. It depends on what I want for a skill set. Now, remember that $1 an hour person? Well, I just said that any amount, because if I had to put down 1 hour and they have absolutely no hours, they don't show up on the radar. You know, they don't show up in a search. So if you put any amount, that means that even the ones that have 0 will show up. And then, you know, I just basically put in a question here saying, hey, I'm looking for someone to do some keyword research. Here's my URL. Here's my website. I want to get the best keywords for this, and I'm willing to pay $15, but I want 1,000 keywords for this. Now, you determine how long it's going to take you. Some people use software. Some people go into Google Planner and do it. We're going to teach you this stuff, so don't worry about it. You'll be able to do this job. You'll be able to do keyword research after we get you trained in class. All right, cover letter. I can ask for a cover letter. That means that you're going to have to come back and give me a letter that kind of explains why you want this job. We're going to teach you this. You're going to explain why you want this job and why you're qualified for it. You need to be able to communicate in English. It doesn't work in Hindi because I don't speak Hindi, and so none of the companies that you're going to be dealing with normally in the USA are going to speak Hindi. Now, if you're dealing with companies in India, that's a whole different story. You know that, and I know that. But if you're working with Australia, you're working with France, Germany, England, they don't speak Hindi either normally. So that's something that you want to make sure that you have a good understanding. Doesn't have to be great. Most of my people that work in India don't have great English skills. They have good English skills. In fact, a lot of times I help them correct their English so that we can use it. But that's what a good employer will do. All right, so I can post this job, or I can save it as a draft. I can preview it. But do you get the idea here what is going on? I'm looking for a freelancer. I go here and I post. And believe me, thousands of companies come here looking. Thousands of marketers. Internet marketers come here looking for help. We as internet marketers, because we're an agency, we don't know how to do all this stuff. That's why we hire from here and other locations. And we'll teach you those too. So here's what you need to do. Get yourself over to our program right here, Self Computer Employment School, 919305196-240. We'll be opening those classes soon in Lucknow. You need to get yourself an appointment and let us teach you so you can become self-employed. I don't care your age. I don't care your gender. I don't care. I want you in the classroom if you want to become self-employed. If you're tired of wondering where your next paycheck's going to come from, I'll show you how to earn money at will. And what that means is that if you don't want to work this week, you don't have to take a job. If you want to work for the next 3 months, find an employer that's hiring for 3 months. If you want a job for a year, hire yourself out for a year. These are the things we're going to teach you, but you have to come and make the application happen. I can't do that for you, but I surely can help you do it. So, until the next video, this is Ron Buster. You have a great day. See you in class.